So the PIA has given Nigeria a unique opportunity. A lot is spoken about the upstream, but also in the downstream, the PIA has a major impact. And there are two big elements around the PIA. One element is, of course, the creation of a new authority, the NMVPRA, and of course the deregulation of the PMS price. Now, the creation of the new authority is going well. They are engaging with all the stakeholders in the industry to make sure their voices are heard. How can they do best do it? Because of course a law in itself doesn't say how you're going to work on a day-to-day basis. It gives a framework. So what the authority is doing at the moment is making sure they engage with all the stakeholders and make sure their voices are heard, and that when they come with their proposed way forward, actually it is the right way forward. So I think give them some time to do that, and I'm sure they'll come with the right solution. The second element, of course, which is much more visible also for the consumers, is of course the deregulation of the PMS price. Now, that has been postponed for 18 months, and that is a political decision, and I think that's fine. We will deal with the postponement for 18 months. Because from my viewpoint of view, the new PIA will be there for the next 20, 25 years. So 18 months in the beginning will be in history just a blip. Now the great thing about deregulation of PMS, it will hopefully enable the margins that the industry make to improve so they can do the necessary investments. Because we need to invest in our infrastructure. Look at it from a different way. We're going to have these new refineries come up. We have got some modular refineries coming up. We've got Dangote coming up. We've got NNPC refurbishing their refineries. And that's getting close. The moment they will start getting close, that in itself will generate value. But that value needs to be captured. And it will be captured down the value chain. So we need investments in pipelines, in jetties, in depots, in trucking, and even maybe in retail size, to make sure we capture that value that those refineries generate. Now, for that, those investments need money. And money gets created by making a bit of margin. And then, if the margin is there, people will invest, because they can see they will be remunerated for the investment they do. So that's a crucial part of the PIA, that now, if they deregulate PMS, we will have the opportunity to basically capture the value that these refineries will generate, making Nigeria basically supply independent. But in order to capture it, we need to do the investments. Now that's crucial. Now if you then look at OVH, because next to the refineries, of course, we also have the decade of gas. Because gas is a natural resource that Nigeria has in abundance, and it is crucial that it's being used for the prosperity of the country. Now, so the decade of gas aims to increase the share of the product energy mix that's currently being used in Nigeria. So that gas becomes, being it LPG, being it CNG, being it LNG, is part of the energy mix of Nigeria going forward, to make sure economic activity is being supported. Now, and that's crucial. Now, as OVH, we of course work in two areas. We work, of course, in our traditional ways. We've got a jetty, we've got depots, we've got our retail stations that you all know. We are the Owando licensee, so you all know our retail sites. We do lubricants, we do aviation fuel, which is all very traditional. We've always done LPG, but actually we're rolling out to all our retail sites, not all our retail sites, but many of our retail sites, LPG skids. So actually consumers can find close to them an opportunity to refill their cylinders, which of course is great, because you don't want to carry a 12 kg plus steel around. But the other element is also we're seeing which sites we could make capable of also distributing CNG. And we've got all the technical specs ready, we know what we need to buy. It's just a matter of making sure we do the timing of the decision to actually buy all the equipment and start selling on the right moment. So what we're trying to do is both capture, let's say, the value that the refineries generate and the investments that need to be done into the downstream and the midstream industry, but also making sure we play our part in, let's say, the increase of the gas as part of the energy mix in Nigeria. In my view, the true benefits of the PIA will be multiple. One, with the refineries coming on stream, the valuable dollars that are now being spent by the government to import fuel will not be necessary anymore. So basically those dollars are necessary because the country also imports other things. And those dollars can then be used to import other elements, can be equipment, can be food, whatever is needed to make sure the country prospers. So just having the effect of the refineries reducing basically the need to spend forex, valuable dollars to import fuel is already a huge benefit for the country. The second element of case is when the PMS gets deregulated, the subsidies that are currently in place will disappear, which should tremendously help the federal government to actually start spending also money on things like healthcare, education, infrastructure. Because especially at today's prices, we all know that it will go up quite a bit of the income that we get from the higher crude prices. Quite a bit will be actually consumed by the higher importation cost of PMS. So just from a pure economical, financial point of view, it will be a huge benefit. So that's actually for the country, if you want to call it like that. And I believe that Nigerians are willing to pay more for the fuel. But as an industry, we then need to take the responsibility. They will then accept, one, that the price is competitive. Yeah, and thankfully Nigeria is very competitive. It's one of the most fragmented markets that I've ever worked in. So I'm sure competition will keep us, in that sense, the prices in an equitable way. Secondly, what it will also do, the consumer will say, okay, so I'm paying this higher price, but then I want a good service. I want to make sure I get the right quality. I want to make sure I get the right quantity. Yeah, I want to have a safe experience. So the expectation of a consumer will go up. And actually, I think that's only good, because actually it will force everybody in the industry to actually focus on these kind of things and deliver a good service and product to the consumer. And then the consumer will pay the price for it. I think the other element of it is, of course, that with hopefully the margins, we will be able to invest. And invest has two elements. Of course, it's good that you reinvest money, but it helps people to jobs. Because when we invest, people in construction, people in maintenance, people in will have a job. So I think it's also important for the prosperity of the country that it will help people to have a job, either permanently or on projects. So there are all kinds of tangible, intangible benefits to it that I think will benefit the country as a whole. So the PIA, the ascent of the PIA has really changed the landscape of the midstream and the downstream in Nigeria. A lot is said, of course, about the impact on the upstream business, but there's also a major impact on the midstream and the downstream businesses in Nigeria. It's great to be here again at the NIES. Well, actually, it's the inaugural meeting called NIES. Before, of course, it was called differently. But it's actually the right name for it, because we talk about energy, and energy comes in many ways. And I think energy security for Nigeria is very important. So I think it's actually the right name for it. And I think the organizers have done, together with all the sponsors, have done a brilliant job again. If you walk around, the topics that are being discussed in the panels are spot on. Yeah? The environment with the exhibition hall and all the services around it is spot on. So I think that actually, I hope that many more of these sessions, of these kind of conferences or summits will happen, and basically keep on adding value to what we're doing in this country. Because what you do, you bring all the brains from all kinds of different angles together to discuss the relevant topics, being it upstream, being it downstream, being it related to people, being it related to technology. And I think bringing that all together here in these couple of days, I think is extremely important. And I want to congratulate the organizers, but also wish them good luck with organizing the next one.